Donna J. Jodhan presents Ask Donna, a weekly podcast on a plethora of topics and tips. Donna's podcast is split into 4 distinct sub-podcasts. The first week of the month is where Donna hosts her Ask the Bloggers podcast on such topics as overcoming bullies and bullying, tips on entrepreneurship, and protecting oneself from scams and scammers. The second week of the month is where Donna hosts her Ask the Coach podcast. A bit of this, a bit of that from her monthly Did You Know diary. The third week of the month is where Donna hosts her Ask the Homemaker podcast. Tips on everyday hints to help you take advantage of natural remedies and solutions. And the fourth week of the month is where Donna's podcast is all about a product review and a book review. Sit back and enjoy.
Hello, and greetings from me, Donna J. Jodhan, your host for the Ask Donna podcast, and we are now up to November 2024. The first week of November, my goodness. Father Time is marching along. And I'd just like to thank everyone again for dropping by to listen to me, to provide me with your feedback, your thoughts, your comments, and your suggestions. And I want to start this podcast for the month of November, the first week, by letting you know that as of January, I am going to be hosting a brand new Ask Donna podcast. It's going to be called Ask Donna, Advocacy in Action. And I'd like to thank the many listeners and readers who contacted me, who reached out to me, and who engaged with me on this new, I don't know if I want to call it the feature, or a new initiative, or a new look Ask Donna podcast. I had a lot of requests from people asking me to concentrate more on advocacy. And this is exactly what we are going to be doing come January. So stay tuned for this new and exciting new look of the Ask Donna show, or Ask Donna podcast, coming in January 2025. All right. Thank you again to everyone for tuning in with your feedback, comments, suggestions, and thoughts. And to my brother in Montreal, Michael. Thank you, Michael, for continuing to be with me, to walk with me, to provide me with your wonderful words of wisdom. And hello to Heather, your wonderful wife. All right. So, for this month, what I'd like to start off with is by telling you what you will be expecting to hear from me for this month of November. For the first week, it's all about Ask the Blogger. For the second week, it's all about Ask the Coach. For the third week, it's all about Ask the Homemaker. And for the fourth week, it's all about Ask the Reviewer, where I will be doing a product review, a book review, and a business review. Okay? So, this is what it's all about. Let me next go to my Etsy announcement, ETSY announcement. Please visit me at www.etsy.com/shop/blindlybrilliant to see more about my mission and my initiatives. It's not just about me selling my pottery, it's about me using proceeds from my pottery sales to support my initiatives, my transitioning to a new world for young adults and kids leaving high school. This is what my Etsy announcement is all about. This is what my Etsy initiative is all about. And stay tuned. In the coming weeks, you will be learning a lot more about my transitioning program. Okay? Don't forget, go to www.etsy.com/shop/blindlybrilliant. And just to let you know, we are going to be appearing at a craft show in our condo complex on Sunday, November the 3rd. Okay, let's kick off today's podcast, Ask the Blogger, with some questions from listeners that I pulled out of my email bag. Here's the first question. Listener would like me to elaborate more about bullying in the playground. Bullying in the playground is nothing unusual. It is nothing new. It happens between or amongst kids. It happens between kids and adults, or kids and coaches, and it happens between coaches and coaches and coaches and kids and coaches and parents, believe it or not. So there are a lot of different types of bullying that take place or takes place in the playground. Okay? Once again, it's between kids and kids, between and amongst kids and kids, between and amongst kids and adults, between and amongst kids and coaches, between and amongst coaches and coaches, and between and amongst coaches and adults. The adults often refer to parents of kids. That is what bullying in the playground is all about. Next question is, the listener wanted to know, how lucrative is it to have a business to provide services for seniors? I would say it is extremely lucrative, given that our market is being flooded more and more with seniors who are our consumers, our customers, and our clients. And maybe the word flooded is not appropriate, but more and more seniors are entering the market due to a rapidly aging population. So it is a very lucrative business. And the types of businesses you want to think about are businesses that provide services directly to seniors. Home care services is one thing I could think about, where you provide salon services to seniors, home cleaning services for seniors, shopping services for seniors. Okay? Next question. Listener wanted to know if glitches in the health system are decreasing, and the answer to that is unfortunately no. When you have health professionals who do not really understand or are not fully aware of how to engage and interact with seniors and persons with disabilities or patients with disabilities, these glitches will continue to exist, and they will get even worse. What I would suggest is that medical associations think very carefully, also universities, medical faculties at universities, think very carefully of providing courses where awareness training will take place for medical and health professionals. All right, let's get to this week's business, and we're going to start with bullying in the arcade. Again, you're going to see some of these types of bullying in the arcade. When older kids bully younger kids, and boy, this takes place a lot because the older kids want to boss around the younger kids in arcades. When faster kids bully slower kids, and what do I mean by this? It's when those kids who are technically better able to handle technology bully the slower kids who are not as confident at handling technology. When kids pick on others, very, very common in our case, they pick on each other for all kinds of different things, not just that one is faster than the other, but also happens when a kid is older, when a kid just doesn't like what another kid is wearing or what he's eating or drinking, anything like that. Okay? All right, let's move on. I have an entrepreneurial tip for you for this week, and it's all about how to choose your customers. You need to choose your customer by age, right? Decide what age group are you going to cater to. By gender, maybe not as important, but do you want to cater to the male gender or the female gender or both? Everybody, that is. So you got to think about how does your product and service or service fit into all of this? Which gender would benefit more from your product or service? Which age group would benefit more from your product or services? Okay? By profession. Which profession could benefit more from your product or your service? Okay? Now for my tip on scams and scammers. Here is a very, very popular scam, and it happens at any time of the year, anywhere, any day. When you receive an email or an automated phone call or even a live phone call from somebody saying, we can help you to repair your computer, or we can support any problems that you may have with your computer software or hardware, be very, very careful. And the minute you decide inadvertently to divulge any of your details, your banking details, your personal details, your software details, your hardware details, you are opening yourself up to a very unscrupulous scam with their unscrupulous scammer with their scam. Sometimes these scams are too good to be true. Honest to God, they offer you a lot of services for a very, very modest price. Okay? Some of the things that these scammers would ask you for is your password, your email address. Look out. Do not pay any attention to these automated phone calls or these emails or these live phone calls. Hang up on the phone calls, delete the emails. Okay? Now I'm going to end my podcast with a thought for today. It's all about sporting activities. What types of sporting activities are accessible and usable, especially to seniors and those with a disability? How accessible are they? I think a lot of them are becoming more and more accessible, but there's a lot more to do. For example, providing locations that are more accessible for persons to reach. Okay? The location needs to be more accessible, right? So you got to make sure that these locations are accessible and usable. With usable bathrooms, for example, with locations that are on bus routes or easy to get to via car. Okay? But there's a lot more to do, okay? Folks, if you'd like to learn more about my advocacy efforts and initiatives, please go to www.sterlingcreations.ca. That's STERLING creations, CREATIONS.ca. So it's www.sterlingcreations.ca. And you can also visit www.donnajodhan.com. Send me an email to askdonnaonblindlife@gmail.com or to me at donnajodhan@gmail.com. That's it for me for this week, folks. My name is Donna J. Jodhan. Thank you for tuning in to listen to me. I wish you a great rest of the day, a great rest of the week. Take care, stay safe, and we will see you next week. Bye for now.
That's it for this week. Donna hopes that you enjoyed her podcast today. She thanks you for having taken the time to tune in and looks forward to being with you next week. Send your thoughts and feedback to Donna at askdonnaonblindlife@gmail.com.